Wells Fargo. Our support of Aggie students goes beyond just banking. By supporting News22, we're giving back to the community. Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far.
Mayor Tom Udall visit Las Cruces this past weekend,
and NMSU students had a chance to showcase their business skills.
All that and more on News22 Tuesday.
Serving southern New Mexico, this is the award-winning KRWG-TV News 22, where news matters.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jackie Loera.
And I'm Selena Quintana.
Las Cruces police are searching for a suspect after finding a gunshot victim Thursday evening. They've not yet identified the victim.
Police received a report of shots being fired near the 1700 block of Idaho. Police found a man suffering from gunshot wounds. Police are also searching for the car with ties to the incident.
I was in my living room and heard pop, 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 pop. I thought it was fireworks maybe. I think it was about 8:40 or so, and I reacted like an idiot by throwing open the door like, what's going on out here? Like I could do something with people with shotguns.
Police said today they're still searching for the shooter and have no further information. In a bizarre case, Doña Ana sheriffs say a man wearing a fake beard and wig invaded a home and demanded money. Police say Samuel Ponce Chavez rode a bike to a home on Saxon Lane and approached the owner demanding money at gunpoint. He then allegedly tied up the man and took his money from his pockets. He also hit the victim's grandson, knocking him unconscious before tying him up. Police say the man tried to escape on foot before he was hit by a police cruiser. He is now in custody, being held without bond.
The Las Cruces PD is offering tips to keep your Halloween accident-free. They say to go trick-or-treating with the young kids and in a group if possible. Make sure drivers and homeowners can see you by using flashlights or glow sticks. Also, if you're on the road, look out for pedestrians. Thoroughly inspect candy before eating, and remember, only trick-or-treat at homes that have visible Halloween decorations and only knock at reasonable hours. Many people from around Las Cruces are celebrating their past family members and friends this week, and it all started last Friday at the plaza in Old Mesilla.
Dia de los Muertos, which is Spanish for Day of the Dead, is a Mexican-originated holiday and tradition that is celebrated all around the world, even here in Doña Ana County. I was there. They gathered on the plaza in Old Mesilla for the Dia de los Muertos festival, some in costume and some in traditional Day of the Dead wear. It was complete with altars containing possessions of those who have passed, performers, paintings, figurines, and sugar skulls, all representing the dead. Many families built their own shrines for their deceased loved ones, but there was one family that stood out. Now the Diaz-Austin family is here today, and they've been here all weekend. They say Dia de los Muertos is an important tradition that should be passed on.
It's very important in our culture because, our Mexican tradition sometimes gets forgotten, and over the years, people don't pass down traditions. And it's very important for me to always pass down traditions of my Mexican culture to my children, to my sons. And they have promised me that no matter what, over the years, if anything has happened to me, that they will continue my tradition of always having my altar up and celebrating the life of everyone that has touched me and touched them.
Pat's sons were with her all weekend in Old Mesilla, and they said they will be passing down the tradition to their own children because they believe it's a great way to learn about their family.
I will definitely continue to pass this on to my children, definitely, especially in the, with our history and our family. We have a very diverse family, and it's something that we've learned, just by doing this simple Dia de los Muertos altar. And it's great, I'd want my family and my children to understand where it is that we came from and our heritage and just our past and our history.
The Diaz-Austin family shrine contains 4 main altars representing lost friends, family, those who have passed within the year, and 4 candles, each with a meaning.
The reason I light 4 candles is because one candle represents my family, and the other candle represents my husband's family. Another candle represents the loved ones of friends of ours or friends of ours that we have lost. And the 4th candle represents anybody that you may have lost.
The Diaz-Austin family says the festival not only gives them and other families the opportunity to celebrate the lives of loved ones who have passed, but it gives the opportunity for the community to celebrate the Hispanic culture. Now the festival is over, but there will be a procession this Thursday starting at 6 p.m. where a candlelight march will parade to the Old Mesilla Cemetery. So it's been chilly and it's been cold, and
It has. I wonder how that weather's going to be like tonight for all those little trick-or-treaters out there.
Well, Jess has more on that with our current conditions.
Y'all are definitely right. It's going to be a little bit chilly tonight. So if you are heading out to trick or treat, let's go ahead and take a look at what you'll be seeing. Right now, skies are cloudy at 63 degrees, southwest winds at 5 miles per hour. Our humidity is a little up because we did see some rainfall this morning at 37%, our dew point at 40 degrees, and our barometer at 29.80 inches. Today we saw a high of 81, which is actually 10 degrees warmer above our average of 71 and our overnight low of 52. Let's go ahead and take it back to the 80s where we hit both our record high and low temperature. Our record high was hit in 1988 at 87 degrees and 1982 at 27 degrees. Like I said, we did see some rainfall this morning, so our yearly rainfall sits at 10.22 inches. I'll be back a little bit later to tell you which region is seeing some snowfall, but for now, back to Selena and Jackie at the desk.
With the Las Cruces municipal election underway, officials are concerned with voter turnout. As of Saturday, only 1.5% of eligible voters have voted early, compared to Albuquerque's election, which saw a rise in voter turnout. Las Cruces will not see the same spike. The Las Cruces election does not have a mayor's race or ballot, only 3 city council seats. Early ballot voting continues until November 4th and election day on the 7th.
U.S. Senator Tom Udall came down to Las Cruces to meet the community.
One of the main reasons he visited was to highlight the importance of the Oregon Mountains Desert Peak National Monument. News 22's Melissa Barraza was there to talk to him.
Udall said the economy has had a big impact on the economy.
The National Monument is incredible in terms of economic development and the economic impact. I visited a number of businesses today, and what they talked about is the monument helps them grow, it helps them expand the community, so it's just tremendously exciting to see all of this activity after we put the monument in place.
He made a stop at the Oregon Mountains Outfitter store. Owner Chris Lang told him how the community has come together for a good cause.
With the designation of the Oregon Mountain Desert Peaks, we've been able to really kind of build and grow, our business of just really promoting an outdoor lifestyle, but also bringing our community together and also giving back at the same time.
The Oregon Mountains Outfitters is an organization that sells clothing promoting the Oregon Mountains, and part of that money goes to pay for kids' lunches.
$2 from every purchase goes back to the Las Cruces Public Schools that provides 5 meals, a week's worth of lunches. And, just to tell him, we've donated over 50,000 lunches so far, over $20,000 to our community.
The senator walked through the farmers market and stopped at several booths to learn a little bit more about the Las Cruces local businesses.
It is so important here to grow your economy. I mean, we're seeing our young people, some of our young people, leave New Mexico to find jobs in other places. So any place we can grow a job here in New Mexico, we want to do that. We want to retain our young people.
And besides the economy, he says we must change our minds about caring for the earth.
A part of the rest of the planet has lives and living beings, and when we remember that we're part of a community, we're going to act in different ways.
He said he's encouraged by the monument's support in Las Cruces.
How hard all of you are working to make sure that we protect this monument, and my message to the President and to Secretary Zinke is keep your hands off. Keep your hands off. And if they don't, they're going to be in court and they're going to lose.
Reporting for News 22, Melissa Barraza.
Stay tuned. Jessica will be back with your national forecast.
And later, Aggie entrepreneurs find out whether their business ideas will be accepted or be thrown to the sharks. More on that when News 22 continues.
Las Cruces and El Paso share a lot of history. See why we say Texas history begins in El Paso on our El Paso Gold Heritage documentary series, broadcast Sunday nights on KRWG-TV. See Legends of El Paso's Mountains, Gunfights of the Old West, El Paso's Waco Tanks, Mexican Revolution sites in El Paso, and many more El Paso TV documentaries on KRWG-TV.
Saturday at 12 noon on KRWG-TV.
The KRWG-TV public file is available to the public at 2915 McPhee Circle, Milton Hall, Room 117, on the campus of New Mexico State University. Regular business hours are from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. and 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., Monday through Friday. Files are also available online at stations.fcc.gov.
Welcome back. You're watching News 22 Tuesday,
where news matters. The 4th Aggie Shark Tank event took place this past Thursday. Aggie Shark Tank is where aspiring student entrepreneurs try to sell their best ideas.
As News 22's Isaiah Silva reports, they hope locals will be able to see their potential.
The 4th Aggie Shark Tank event took place this past Thursday. Aggie Shark Tank is where aspiring student entrepreneurs can showcase their business ideas to local sharks in hopes that the sharks will be able to see potential in their ideas. The night was filled with many great business ideas, but one stood out to the public in the social media contest put on by the Arrowhead Center. Alexis Cornitas presented his idea for an online application that helps college students get connected with each other more easily. Cornitas won the Social Media Favorite Award for his app Maslow, which is a step up from Yik Yak.
It was really great to see that I have people supporting me. And as simple as a like is, it shows a lot.
Yik Yak users were anonymous, and with Maslow, that won't be the case. It gets students connected to anyone using the app if they are close by.
Why wouldn't you want to be connected and know who they are?
There were 4 other students that presented ideas. The ideas included growing businesses with escargot, organic fertilizers, cybersecurity, and field lab tests, which won the Crowd Favorite Award. The audience voted by texting a certain number that corresponded to the contestant, and they got their results in real time. The sharks included successful entrepreneurs from the area, including Luis Esbarro, Beto Payares, Estela Hernandez, and Mickey Clute.
What we're interested in doing is keeping things that are thought of here in New Mexico, trying to keep that as a business here in New Mexico.
Cornitas had the same idea of keeping his business headquartered in Las Cruces.
I want to base Maslow here in Las Cruces. And we have the option of going to another city or Austin or Silicon Valley, but we're not going to have that impact that we can have here.
Cornitas is getting ready to release Maslow in the month of November. For News 22, I'm Isaiah Silva.
Cornitas named the app after psychologist Abraham Maslow, who created Maslow's hierarchy of need. So I hear they're having snowfall on the West Coast.
I know, I'm kind of sad that we're not having any here yet.
I know. Well, here's Jess with your national weather.
You're right, guys. The West Coast is seeing a disruptive storm which could create some snowfall and some rain showers. Let's go ahead and take a closer look on my next map, where you'll see the folks in Oregon are seeing this low pressure system right here pushing its way in, along with this cold air pushing in, which is going to create that snow and rainfall along the coast. On to my next map, we'll see the folks in California and Nevada and how they're being affected, which this rainfall can actually cause some wildfire relief for those folks that saw the wildfires a couple weeks ago. The folks in the blue can be seeing up to 2 feet of snow, so if you are traveling this way, just be aware that there will be travel disruptions. I'll be back after the break to take a look at our fall-like temperatures. You're watching News 22 Tuesday.
The Doña Ana Arts Council, presenting the Renaissance Arts Fair, magicians, jousters, arts and crafts, food and games, Saturday and Sunday, November 4th and 5th at Young Park in Las Cruces. The Renaissance Arts Fair is New Mexico true.
I'm pretty scared. I haven't really trained a hawk since Mabel, and that was 10 years ago now.
She's half dragon, half leopard. What I might do is sit with her, try and get across that this voice is not something to be feared. The journey begins.
Wednesday at 7 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Katrina, Sandy,
It's unbelievable.
and now Harvey, Irma, and Maria.
Storms destroying entire cities.
But hurricanes of the past might have been worse.
The 1780 hurricane was the deadliest we know about.
It was horrific.
Can these disasters help us predict the future
We're likely to get lots more intense hurricane strikes.
of killer hurricanes on Nova?
Wednesday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Welcome back. Let's go ahead and take a look at our current conditions around New Mexico right now. Farmington at 61, Gallup 58, Albuquerque 61, Las Cruces we're at 63, and Deming at 65. As for tomorrow, folks, in Santa Fe 63 degrees, Albuquerque 71, Socorro 76, Roswell a high of 82, and Deming 77. Let's go and take a look at our sister cities. Alamogordo, cloudy skies tonight, sunny skies tomorrow at 75. Truth or consequences, you all can expect cloudy skies tonight at 64, cloudy skies again tomorrow with a high of 78. Silver City, cloudy skies tonight at 57 degrees and a sunny skies tomorrow with a high of 69. And in our beautiful city of the Crosses, cloudy skies tonight at 63 degrees, cloudy skies tomorrow with a high of 77. I'll be back later with a look at your 5-day forecast, but for now, back to the desk.
A murder suspect in New Mexico is asking a judge to extend her curfew so she can take her daughter trick-or-treating tonight.
From KRQE, Janine Nguyen reports.
Sepulveda is charged with playing a major role in the death of 18-year-old Aaliyah Garcia. Garcia was killed in a drive-by shooting in the South Valley near Atrisco and RNL back in May of last year. Police say Sepulveda set the murder in motion when she told a group of friends to rob someone who had a pound of marijuana. Garcia just happened to be nearby when the shots rang out. Judge Brianna Zamora allowed Sepulveda to stay out of jail as long as she was under intense supervision. That supervision includes staying off drugs, GPS monitoring, counseling, and an 8 p.m. curfew. But that curfew is a little too early for Sepulveda. She's now asking the judge to extend her curfew to 9:30, just for Halloween so she can take her daughter trick-or-treating. For people like Jonathan Carone, who lives near Sepulveda in the Wells Park neighborhood near 7th and Mountain, he says 9:30 is a little late to be trick-or-treating.
I don't see many kids out. I mean, it's super dark by then, and I think normally they start at like 6 and go till 8.
Aaliyah Garcia's sister, Charlene, tells News 13 her sister loved Halloween, and because of Sepulveda's actions, she won't ever get to experience that again. She hopes the judge will deny the request. In Sepulveda's request, it states she has gone almost a full year without a single violation. But at the beginning of this year, she failed a drug test. Carone says Sepulveda's request is something she does not deserve.
No, sorry. Have a good day. You did something, and here's the rules.
Aaliyah Garcia's sister tells me the family doesn't agree with Marissa Sepulveda being out in the first place. They say if a judge does grant the request, it will just be adding insult to injury. Jeannie Nguyen, KRQE News 13.
Aggie fans of all ages kicked off Saturday morning with the homecoming parade. Students built floats and the community flooded University Avenue right before the Aggies and the Red Wolves kicked off. Homecoming week has been the NMSU tradition since 1926, a time for the community to come together and have some fun.
So the Aggie football team took a tough loss this weekend.
Yeah, they really did. And here's Kristen Mistretta with sports.
Thanks, guys. Coming up in sports, find out how the Aggies did at the WAC Cross Country Championship meet this past weekend. We'll be right back with News 22 Sports.
There's this grievance that's eating away at Vladimir Putin.
The FBI detected more attempts. Russian hackers are behind those attacks.
America in the crosshairs.
This is the first time they have gone out and weaponized that information.
He's going to employ whatever means he can to undermine the United States.
Part 2 of a special investigation. The epic inside story of Putin's revenge.
Wednesday at 9 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Think Wednesday on PBS for stories from the world around us. Stories of predators.
Wow.
She's amazing. Half dragon, half leopard.
Extreme events.
The biggest storm in the Atlantic that we've ever seen.
And inside Putin's Russia.
There's this grievance that's sort of eating away at him.
For stories that get you closer to life. Think Wednesday
on KRWG-TV.
This is KRWG-TV News 22 Sports.
Welcome back. I'm Kristen Mastretta, and let's talk sports. The NMSU football team had a strong first half this past weekend in their homecoming game, but they were no match for the Red Wolves in the second half. At the start of the third quarter, the Aggies were up 14-7, but Arkansas State was able to get a field goal 5 minutes in to make the score 14-10. The Red Wolves then had a 23-yard touchdown pass to take the lead 17-14. Skipping to the beginning of the fourth quarter, the Aggies then took the lead back with a 2-yard touchdown to make the score 21-17. The Red Wolves held the Aggies from scoring for the rest of the game, and Arkansas State won 37-21. After their tough loss, head coach Doug Martin is only focused on winning their next game.
Win Saturday. We weren't mentally and physically tough enough to win that football game. We had the lead in the fourth quarter. We weren't mentally, physically, and mentally tough enough to do it. And that's the challenge for our team. Is are you guys tough enough to win 4? And then we'll talk about 5 after that. Are we tough enough to win 4? So that's all this week is about in practice. That's all the game is going to be about. It has nothing to do with X's and O's. It has to do with our mindset and our mentality going into that football game and how we play it. That's why.
For their next game, the Aggies will be playing Texas State on November 4th in San Marcos, Texas. Tonight, the Astros and the Dodgers are facing off as we speak in LA. The Astros are up in the series 3-2 and only need one more victory to win the World Series. The Astros won Game 5 in the bottom of the 10th with a score of 13-12 when Alex Bregman hit a line drive single to left field, allowing Derek Fisher to score the winning run. The Dodgers are expected to put up a good fight tonight, hoping to take the series in Game 7. The New Mexico State men's and women's cross-country teams are celebrating success at the WAC Cross Country Championship. Nolan Fox was there to tell you the story.
And they're off. New Mexico State hosted the WAC Cross Country Championship meet on Saturday at the NMSU golf course. Runners from all teams in the WAC ran their hearts out on the challenging course, but only one team could come out on top.
After an exciting day here at the WAC Championship Cross Country meet at the New Mexico State golf course, the New Mexico State women's team won the conference, finishing in first place, while the New Mexico State men's cross country team finished in third.
For Chrissy Amberg, who finished second, and her twin sister Cassie, who finished 15th, winning the WAC Championship in their senior year together was a special feeling.
It's still a little surreal.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm holding this trophy, but I'm still like, did this really happen?
Yeah, did it really happen? But
I'm so proud of her. She got second, and I knew she could do it. I knew she could beat those other girls, and she was so close to getting first also. I'm the luckiest person. Cassie is the best support system I've ever had in my life, and she gets to run with me every day, every workout, every meet.
The men's team finished third behind UMKC and Utah Valley, but Aaron Valenzuela and Jeremy Santisteban were still proud of their accomplishments this season.
I felt like we had a great race, by far our best race of the season.
We didn't get first, but that was our goal. But I think, given the fact, these other two teams are really good, I think we should hold our head high. And
both teams will head to Logan, Utah for the NCAA Mountain Regional Meet on November 10th. For News 22 Sports, I'm Nolan Fox.
And that's all for sports tonight. Join us for more sports action tomorrow. Still ahead on News 22, Jess will be back to take a look at your 5-day forecast. But first, the March of the Penguins has struck again, waddling into history. More on that when News 22 returns.
On Masterpiece. Look me in the eyes and tell me you don't love me.
Why do you suppose this has anything to do with the
What's happened to my husband?
After him! If Drake Khan hangs, the people will rise up, and I will be powerless to stop them.
Poldark on Masterpiece.
Thursday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Don't miss one of Broadway's best actors, Kevin Kline.
Thank you.
In his hilarious Tony-winning triumph as a British Best Actor.
I'm always acting.
In Noel Coward's comedy classic, Present Laughter. On Great Performances.
Friday at 8 p.m. on KRWG-TV.
Let's take a look at our top stories. Las Cruces gathered in Old Mesilla for the Dia de los Muertos celebration. We met one family at the celebration who carried the tradition for over 10 years. Senator Tom Udall comes to Las Cruces to support the Oregon Mountain Desert Peaks National Monument, and he met local citizens who just want to keep it like that. And we saw how young entrepreneurs try to convince the sharks that they can swim with the best in the business.
Nearly 1,000 penguin people break a weird world record. Hundreds at an Ohio school may have set a weird costume world record, and just in time for Halloween. On October 28th, hundreds waddled to Youngstown State University dressed as penguins. The official tally was 972 penguin people. That eclipses the previous record of 624, set in 2015 in London. The gathering coincided with YSU's homecoming and 50th anniversary. The school sent out the gathering to the Guinness World Records for confirmation. Now the Penguins play the waiting game.
You know, back when I was in school, we never did anything cool like that. So I'm a little
That's
jealous.
pretty cool. That is pretty cool. You gotta.
It's kind of cute too.
You get to dress up as a penguin and go to school.
And not just walk to school, you waddle to school.
Exactly. There were so many of them. That is crazy. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at our 5-day forecast, where we're going to be seeing some clouds this week. And sadly, I know we had some cool temperatures today, but we're warming back up this week, back into the 70s and even 81 on Saturday. We'll still have those chilly overnight lows. As you'll see, tomorrow night, a low of 49, Thursday, a low of 46, and Friday, a low of 49. So if you're going to be out during the evening time, get a jacket because it's going to be a little bit chilly, which is exciting. We get to dress kind of fall-like in the evening time, but daytime it's still going to be pretty hot.
And don't forget, you can catch all of today's aired stories and past newscasts on our YouTube page at youtube.com/KRWG News22.
And follow us on Twitter and Instagram for show updates and the latest on what News22 team is up to.
And that's all for News22 Tuesday. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight.
Tune in tomorrow as we take a look at news from across the Southwest.
Good night.
La policía de Las Cruces continúa investigando el tiroteo que pasó el jueves por la noche. La policía respondió a disparos en la avenida Idaho cerca de la calle Locust. Policía encontraron a un hombre de 27 años que sufrió múltiples heridas de bala en el torso. Investigadores nos comentan que la víctima iba caminando cuando un sedán se detuvo junto a él y se dispararon múltiples disparos desde el interior del vehículo, golpeando a la víctima. La víctima fue trasladada a un hospital local y en el momento se encuentra en condición crítica pero estable. Cualquier persona con información sobre este crimen debe de llamar a la policía al número que aparece en pantalla. La policía de Las Cruces arrestó a una mujer sospechosa de apuñalar a otra mujer el domingo por la tarde. Amber Lindsay, de 22 años, es acusada de un cargo de batería agravada con un arma mortal. Los investigadores se enteraron que Lindsay se acercó a su exnovio, que estaba con su nueva novia, sentados afuera de Community of Hope en la calle Amador. Lindsay aparentemente comenzó a gritar a la nueva novia y amenazó a matarla. Lindsay sacó un cuchillo y apuñaló a la mujer en su espalda. La víctima fue transportada al hospital local. La policía localizó a Lindsay en Community of Hope, donde fue arrestada. Lindsay está en el centro de detención del condado de Doña Ana, donde se encuentra bajo fianza. Para Noticias 22, Raquel López.
Local support for a portion of today's programming is provided by Wells